Welcome, my darling pretties, to our Beyond the Dawn of Business podcast for pretty, empowered female entrepreneurs. It's time to step into your power, pretties. Lift each other, support the squad, and choose a life filled with the autonomy and freedom to live your dreams. I'm your host, Dawn Beth, owner and founder of Beyond the Dawn digital business brand and agency. My coffee is hot and my eyelashes are on, so we are ready to go. Hey pretties, welcome to this episode. I just want to say before we jump in on this that I am loving your responses and emails and comments and all of the wonderful things that you are sending over to me in response to these podcasts. They are giving me life, so please do keep in touch and let me know how you're feeling, which ones you've loved, and of course with any questions you would like me to answer in the future, because I really am just absolutely loving creating these for you. So today I really want to delve in and dig deep and talk about intentional investing. The II. I think it's oi actually, isn't it? Never mind. Anyway, intentional investing. Now, if you speak to any business coach or anybody who is in the digital online space, even if they have a bricks and mortar setup, but they're using the online space for visibility, lead generation, all of those wonderful things, networking, community, any of those wonderful things, you will probably hear somebody tell you that it is a good idea for you to invest in yourself and your business. That is not something that is difficult to find in terms of tips and hints that people will give you. It is quite standard. It's like common practice. But what do you invest in? What do you invest in first if you're not in a position to invest in everything? And how can you get the absolute most out of your investments and make sure that when you are throwing money at a situation, you aren't just throwing money at it, but you're actually actively picking something that's really important for you and your business and making the right choice in terms of what is the next step for your direction. Now, I know that's not the easiest thing to determine, and actually it's one of the things that many of us worry about, and it's one of the things that we can often get ourselves in a bit of a tizzy over. And if for those of you that have ever heard of the term shiny object syndrome, you will probably already know that it is the situation whereby sometimes we can get so overwhelmed with the choices that we have that we can be swayed, we can be persuaded. And that is kind of my area of genius, psychological selling and making sure that I am giving the opportunity for people to see the gentle persuasion in things when it comes to sales is definitely my jam. But there are good ways to do it, there's ways to do it for good and there's ways to do it for evil. And most importantly, for those who are on the other side of that, who are trying to invest, it can be really confusing if you don't already know what it is that you need in terms of your business. So, you're walking along the street one day in Facebook land and you want to make a difference to your business and your life, and you see an offer that says this will make a difference to your business and your life, and you think to yourself, wow, this could really be the thing. This could be the thing that catapults me from here to Timbuktu, millionaire land, where I have my own island and everything is just hunky-dory. And, when we market courses, we market memberships, we market services, one-to-ones, coaching, frameworks, networks, events, retreats, the whole, everything, even products, like even all of the things. We are looking for the people that it will speak to. We're looking for those people that this will call to. And 9 times out of 10, if you get your messaging right, you'll call to the right person. The person on the other side will be like, hey, this could be the thing that catapults me. But occasionally, what you do is you accidentally sway the waves in the direction of a person who didn't actually need that thing right now. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that buying that thing won't be of huge benefit to them and their business long term. I always believe that that is the case. Even if it's not the immediate thing, it's always going to be an amazing asset to have in their back pocket. And especially if they found it in a period where it is a new course or it's only been run a couple of times and you may have found yourself a lovely little bargain. In the end, in the marathon, not the sprint, it will still absolutely serve you. But what if you are in a scenario where actually people are launching stuff around you all the time? What do you do in a situation if your circle of online network, friends and community are just continually launching stuff all the time and you need all the things? You need all of the things and you don't know in which way to do it. So this is for you. For you to know what's truly important for your next stage, for the growth of your business, you have to consider intentional investments. Intentional investment sounds really simple. Yeah, like you just get intentional with it. You just make sure you know what you're doing. But really what it's about is it's about you making a commitment to yourself and your business that you have certain areas that take top priority and you only allow yourself to move through those areas once you feel like they are handled and well managed. So for instance, for the person who isn't getting any clients at the moment and has everything else set up but just wants to have more lead generation, just wants to be able to take more discovery calls, just wants to be able to start up that customer base to get them going. That might be a situation where somebody goes, okay, well, I need to look at my visibility. I need to look at my funnels. I need to look at my networking. I need to look at my social media. I need to look at all of these things. Like, which one is the one that's going to be the one? And the truth with that situation is that not one thing will be the only thing. For those of us who are having high levels of new incoming clients and actually quite high levels of reoccurring previous loyal clients that are coming back to us because they've loved what we've done the first time round, we are having some sort of visibility in pretty much all of those areas. So we're not looking at just social media, we're not looking at just PR, we're not looking at just speaking on stages or anything like that. We're not thinking about just the one thing, we're thinking about the whole thing. But you have to make a decision, you have to get intentional with what thing is going to be the best thing for you, the best thing for your business right now. If you're at that stage where going live on Facebook is a little bit scary, then going and buying a course that's going to teach you how to be up on stage giving a presentation to thousands of people might not be the first step on that ladder. You might first want to figure out what it is that's stopping you in terms of that anxiety, what it is that you have that might be a limiting belief, what the deep down reasons why you are feeling like you don't want to be visible, where that feeling comes from and how you can combat it. Now that might not be the most obvious choice, right? I need to get more clients, so I'm going to go and buy this sales bootcamp. I'm going to go and buy this tripwire that's going to teach me how to do X, Y, and Z. And the truth is, you yourself know yourself. You are the expert of yourself. And you know that if you're not going to implement that, then what is it that you need to do that would make you feel comfortable enough to implement that? What is it that you need to do? What's the step before that ideal situation that you're trying to create? What's the thing that's blocked you and stunted you from getting to that place before? Now, intentional investing isn't just about picking the right support, but it is very, very much the starting point of intentional investing. So you need to consider, what does this look like for me? Do I thrive in group environments, or do I actually prefer one-to-one services? Do I want somebody to lovingly create a space, a container where I can explore my own ideas with a guiding hand? Or do I actually just want somebody to tell me, go do X, Y, and Z and get result Y? have a little think about in terms of like your personality, in terms of your availability, in terms of experience if you've previously bought courses and memberships before, and just really get an idea of what will work best for you. And then the third thing about intentional investing is it's really, really important that you walk into an investment with the right energy. And I've been talking a lot about energy in this last couple of weeks. I wrote a whole email about it. If you're not on my email list, please do join me on my email list. I love sending you guys I think they're hilarious emails about the things that happen. And you know, energy is such a massive thing. Being intentional with everything is really, really important. But being intentional with where you share your money energy, where you give that energy, and then what purpose you give that energy is really, really, really important in terms of you being able to get a successful result. And I'm going to reiterate that success doesn't look the same to everybody. What is successful to one person may not be the same as the next. Successful for one person might be financial. Successful for somebody else might be being able to go and read a book on the beach on a Tuesday afternoon without anybody questioning what they're doing, whilst, you know, being happy and joyful in their environment. But if you walk into an investment, if you invest some money and then automatically decide for yourself that it's too hard, it was too expensive, it's been a waste of money, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I shouldn't have done this, then you are going to have that experience. You are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you go into an investment and say, okay, I'm going to go into this investment. I've given this energy and I'm giving this time to this area because I believe that this is an area that can improve my situation. It will help me to grow. Business or personal, it doesn't really matter, but it will help me to grow. On this course, one-to-one membership, whatever it is that you've invested in, coaching situation, whatever it is, retreat, I am going to learn things that are really beneficial for me going forward. Now, here's the kicker. If you walk into a situation and you have intentionally invested in that way, you've figured out what it is that you need for your business and you've been able to hone that in and figure out that style. Then you've looked at the different types of models that you can learn and what you can invest in and how it works for you in terms of your personal preference. And then you walk in intentional in the state of mind that you are going to learn and grow from this experience. Then you cannot fail. You may come away with a completely different learning than the one you walked in from, but you will never walk away with nothing. And your intention, your energy, the way that you show up in that moment is absolutely the thing that will determine whether you make a success out of that investment that you've given or whether you do not. Now, sometimes we find it really hard to invest in ourselves. There can be lots of external factors for this. There can be a lot in terms of what you are consuming, a contributing factor. I had one of the best sales weeks ever in the last couple of weeks, and I had a conversation with a client and I was saying like, oh, how's things going? How are you doing? And they were like, oh, sales have been down, but no one's buying at the moment. Everything's opened back up. COVID lockdown isn't a thing anymore. No one's buying. Everyone is ploughing their money back into live events, festivals and things. And I thought to myself, that just shows the situation where we really truly can take things that we've consumed externally and turn them into a belief system with very little evidence or fact. And it is really important that you don't allow yourself, in terms of your mindset, your direction and your investments, you don't get swayed by the external factors. You have to plant your feet, pretties. Plant your feet firmly in the sand and allow those waves to gently wash over you. You decide if today you go surfing or whether you stay exactly where you are comfortably. And that's the thing that I really want you to take from today's podcast, is just that you have complete autonomy over your situation, your needs. Tailor make it. Nothing these days should be beige, blanket, cookie cutter. It just isn't necessary. You can absolutely look at what's available and you can choose what's right for you. And there's nobody, not one person, not even when people come to me and say, Dawnie, this is what I need, can you give me some advice? Like, I can give you advice, and I absolutely will give you advice, and I love being able to support and refer and do all of those wonderful things, right? But even I, in my wisdom in that area, cannot turn around and say to you, you should do this, this and this, because the only person who truly knows what you need, the only person who can truly decide, and the only person who can invest with absolute intention is you. Thank you so much for tuning in on this mini bite episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do let me know. Of course, our invitation to join us in Social Pretties is always there, and the information will be in the description. Until next time, have an amazing day. If you're loving our Pretty podcast, come on over to Social Pretties, our online safe house and sisterhood community. It's a safe space where female entrepreneurs connect and thrive in a warm, welcoming fold of pretty amazing women. You'll find an easy redirect in the description, and I can't wait to see you in there. And depending on where you're listening right now, we would love it if you would click subscribe or follow so that you can be the first to know when our new podcasts come out.